What is up, you guys? Welcome to some Halloween fun. Okay, so as I mentioned in my last vlog, at the very last minute as far as this specific Halloween party costumes go, usually I'm making them months in advance. This year, me and Zach were gonna be, like I said, from The Mask, he was gonna be Jim Carrey, I was gonna be Cameron Diaz. So we found out that he actually is at drill and he's not gonna be able to come until much later, if at all. That means I'm SOL as far as a couple's costume. So much has been going on, like I was explaining in my last video, where I'm like, maybe I'm just not gonna do anything this year. I couldn't do it. So I had to run to Party City, Spirit Halloween. I went to secondhand stores to try to get some ideas rolling on what I could possibly do. Now I've come up with 2 costumes, but for tonight's costume, I'm going to be Chucky. This is the costume I picked up, the Chucky costume, and this was from Party City. It was only 40 bucks, but I bought it really for the outfit only because, like I said, I don't have time to custom make an outfit like I just did for my niece. My niece is gonna be Chucky. It's so cool. But I bought this for the outfit only because the mask is horrific. I'll show it to you guys really quick. It is the whitest head I've ever seen in my life, and it's kind of horrifying. Yeah, so I'm not gonna do that. I feel like that is just absolute low effort, not doing that. So what we're gonna do is full bald cap, and I'm gonna glue on sketchy little hair, do the full scars on my face. We're gonna get into it, you guys. So this mask is gonna go in the trash. The only thing we're using from that costume is the outfit itself. Everything else we're making by hand. So that's what we're doing in today's video. If you guys wanna see me transform into Chucky the best I can, let's get started. Alrighty guys, so I just moved the costume and the mask off the table because we don't need that right now. So I've got a whole ton of stuff in front of me. As you can see, I've got yarn. I've got the yarn that I've already prepped right here. I've got a couple bald caps. I've got a new pack of spirit gum just because I wanted a new pack just in case last year's isn't so good. I got a whole bunch of scar tattoos because this will be the easiest way to do this on my face because I'm already doing a bald cap. I didn't want to have to do prosthetic wounds on my face as well, because whether you're doing a cheap latex bald cap from Spirit Halloween or a industry standard really nice bald cap, they take a long time, especially if you've got a lot of hair. So I've got gel, I've got hairspray, I've got nice thick blood that dries. You want it to be nice and thick. Like I said, I've got this tattoos, we've got cotton swabs, we've got cotton balls, I've got foundation to help blend the bald cap in, I've got hairpins, brush, hair elastics, bobby pins, everything we could possibly need. I don't think we'll use bobby pins because that would obviously be visible under a bald cap and you want it to be as smooth as possible. And I've also got my facial toner right here that I need a new re-up of, but I'm using facial toner because this is going to help remove any oils on my face. You want your face and your neck to be as clean as possible. You don't want any lotions or oils when you're trying to stick down a bald cap. It just won't work. So like I said, I've got some already prepped yarn right here, and this is going to be my hair. So let me show you guys a close-up. Sorry if you can hear Hydra squeaking in the background. I just gave them all a bunch of new toys, so that's what's going on there. So as you can see, I've got 2 different textures. I picked up 2 different kinds of yarns and I brushed it out. Just give it a little bit more of a hair-like texture so it doesn't look like I just glued strings of yarn onto my bald cap. So I cut both of these up together, and all I did was just pull little strands out at a time. I probably cut like 15, and then I just would hold the chunk in my hand nice and tight like this and brushed it out as hard as I could. Brushed it, brushed it, brushed it, flipped it over and brushed it. So hopefully we don't need to cut anymore because he doesn't have a lot of hair. The whole reason I wanted to do a bald cap is because he has such a receding hairline, and bald caps are so much fun. Whether or not you do it perfectly, it's still such a blast. Yes, it's really hard to do, but once you get it on, it's so much fun. Last year, like I said, I was Uncle Fester. I wore a bald cap then and I had the time of my life. It is very hot, it is sweaty, it is uncomfortable, but it's so much fun. The most important thing we gotta do, and first thing we gotta do, is get this bald cap on and prep my hair. So prepping your hair is the most important part. Like I said, I'm not a professional at this at all. I am fully winging it, but I will tell you guys just as I'm kind of going along how I'm doing it and what I've learned just with the few bald caps that I put on before. So I've got super long hair, and unfortunately, the best way to get it as flat as possible is to put it in a tight, low pony behind your neck, and you're gonna have to hide your hair underneath your costume. So what we're gonna do is wet it, put a ton of gel in it, we're gonna brush it back, tie it in a very, very low pony down here, and I'll probably braid the tail of it just to kind of help with the heat, because like I said, bald caps are very, very warm, and having all of my hair loose underneath the costume, I'm gonna get really, really hot. So we're gonna gel slick my hair back as tight and as smooth as we can, then we'll start putting on the bald cap. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. If you want to wet your hair first, you can absolutely do that. Some people find it a lot easier to use a spray bottle and wet your hair down. But because I always end up using so much gel and hairspray in my hair when I'm doing this, I don't end up wetting it down, because then it's just a lot of moisture underneath the bald cap. So I'm just going to brush my hair out first, get it nice and smooth, and then we'll start slicking it back. Okay guys, so like I said, now we're just slicking my hair back. No matter what color hair you have, it's not gonna matter. It's not as important as just getting your hair as smooth as you can. You can always go in your bald cap after and hit it with some foundation or any type of body paint or whatever. So I'm going in with a couple different types of brushes, combs, and just working a ton of gel into my hair to get it as smooth as possible into that low ponytail. If you have shorter hair, of course you can do something like you would with a silk press wrap. If you don't know what that is, just Google it. Then once you get it in that low ponytail, like I said, we're gonna throw it in this braid just to keep it nice and cool. Okay, so we've got the hair slicked back. I just braided the very low pony, so that will sit nice and comfortably underneath the bald cap and underneath my costume, because my hair is so long and it's so thick, if it starts to spread across my back, it's literally like wearing a wool sweater. That is a mistake I will not make again this year. I've got it in a nice braid. Now I'm going to clean my face. So I'm going to clean all the areas that the bald cap is going to touch as I'm trying to stick it down. Okay, so I'm going around and kind of doing a final check, pulling all of my little baby hairs away before I start laying this bald cap down. As you can see, I'm spraying the hairspray and I'm holding my hand in the same spot, and I'm really letting the heat of my hand set that hairspray and gel. Just a little hairdresser trick. If you hold your hand in the same spot, the heat of your hand is really going to help set that hairspray and gel in place. So I'm pulling all of my baby hairs back. Then I'm going over all of the areas, like I said, with my toner, to make sure my skin is completely clean before I start laying this bald cap down. So once I pull the bald cap on, I'm just kind of positioning it and getting an idea for where I need to cut it, because you're going to have to cut it to the shape of your own head. So I suggest using some small scissors, like cuticle scissors or something like that. I'm using my Cricut shears, and I'm just going along and slowly making the cuts to the shape of my head. You want to get as close to your ear as possible. You don't want any of your hair sticking out if you can avoid it, but if it does, that's okay. We can cover it up with makeup. It's no big deal. It's just a Halloween costume. So at this point now, I've done quite a bit of shaping. I've taken the cap on and off, so I just had to go back in and fix a couple more baby hairs, because you really don't want to get any of this bald cap glue on your baby hairs, because that is going to hurt when you're pulling it off later. I absolutely always recommend use the remover when you're pulling it off later. It is going to rip out your hair and possibly your skin if you've done a good enough job applying it. So I'm laying down the glue and I'm letting it get tacky. So I lay a strip across my forehead, then I take my finger and just tap all along the areas of that glue until it gets tacky. Then I pull the bald cap over it and set it down in place. Then I move on to the next section, lay a little strip of glue, make it tacky with my finger by just tapping up and down. Then I lay the bald cap down and do the same thing all the way around the bald cap until I get to the back of my ponytail. Okay, once you've let your bald cap completely dry, you're ready for the fun part, and that is laying down the liquid latex. So do not be shy when it comes to this part, you guys. The more you layer, the better it's going to look. So I'm going in with just a cheap makeup square or makeup triangle, whatever you want to call it, and I'm just building layer by layer, letting it dry and putting another layer on top. Like I said, don't be shy with this stuff. Of course, you want to be careful. You don't want any of these chemicals in your eyes, but be generous. Use plenty of that product and blend it up into the back of your bald cap. Blend it a little bit more forward, and don't put it just on the line of the bald cap itself, because you'll see a line of demarcation from the liquid latex as well, just like you would from the bald cap. So you really want to build up a nice layer right on that seam and blend that layer back and blend it forward. So as you can see, I put a layer of foundation down and I'm going back in again with a nice thick final layer of that liquid latex and letting it dry. As I'm letting it dry, I'm finishing the back of my bald cap, laying the foundation down, and just really making sure that everything is covered, everything is blended well, and looks good. Okay, so now we're getting to the fun part, and that's laying down the hair. So obviously I needed to apply the bald cap before I could put the hair on, so that really limited me on what I could use to glue the hair down with. So obviously if I was to use something like a hot glue gun, that would probably instantly burn a hole through my bald cap. So you can't do that, and you can't do something like E6000 or regular glue because that's not going to dry quick enough. So I'm just going right in with the same glue I use for my bald cap, spirit gum. So I'm laying down big sections of that spirit gum and taking a few strands of this pre-brushed out yarn that I made and laying them down and kind of just holding them in place for a moment, and it worked great. I didn't have any hair falling out at all during the night. I think it worked awesome, and I'm just giving myself that classic Chucky male pattern baldness hairline and just kind of alternating back and forth between the different types of yarn. And when I was brushing this yarn out originally, there was leftover yarn in the brush itself, and I saved those clumps of just the super fuzzy balls of yarn, and I'm using that to really fill in the areas that I don't want to just look completely bald and just covering my whole head. Now we're moving on to the little scar tattoos. So unfortunately, I lost this footage. My battery died, so the entire clip of me laying down these temporary tattoos got deleted, but at least we can see the little bit here at the end. So after I lay down all these temporary tattoos, I'm going in with that FX blood that I showed you guys earlier. It's very gooey, but it dries down, and that's super important. So I'm going over all of these temporary tattoos to just make them look a little bit more real. And I'm also putting some in my hair to just really give it that Chucky, creepy, just killed somebody look. Alright, you guys, I think that's it. I am running out of time for the mad dash, as always, from putting on a bald cap to getting to the Halloween party. I think as the most last minute costume, this is as good as I'm gonna get. So let me clean my space a little bit here. Let me throw in the actual costume. I will show you the final reveal, and then I gotta get going. Okay, I've got to admit, okay, I've made an absolute disaster zone of my office, but I have to say, for the most generic costume ever, for the most last minute costume ever, like I said, I'm usually working on costumes for this, and it's really in-depth and really cool and really handmade everything. Usually I'm working on them for a month before. So for the day of, extremely generic, I'm happy with this. I am so upset that Zach doesn't get to see me in this. I am dying. I gotta go now so everybody can see this. Here is how Colleen's gift turns out. This is what it looks like. Let's go party, guys. I wish I could take you with me, but not everyone wants to be on camera. So here's the finished reveal from Mackenzie to Chucky. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you did, comment down below, and let me know what do you want to see next, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Really good. Sauce is good.
Oh my god. Maggie, let me see the bun. Let me see the bun. Holy shit.